almost impossible to tell the difference. I mean,
yeah,
and that sort of thing. But
just imagine we can't even trust video evidence anymore.
No,
no,
really.
Yeah.
I saw a show yesterday on 60 Minutes talking about scams.
Yeah.
And people using real voices.
Yeah.
And these elderly people getting scammed out of money at a bank. Because they believe it's true. They believe they're talking to the person that the voice sounds like.
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day. I forget who it is right now. We were talking about video confessions, and we came up with the Central Park 5. That was the first time we ever saw video confessions, and they were showing little clips of it on TV, and it was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is open and shut. It's open and shut. And,
yeah.
But now we can't even trust that. Now we can't even trust the video confessions.
No, and that. And, of course, we know what happened with them.
Yeah, it turned out, yeah.
I mean, they're innocent.
Yeah.
On that, and so it's.
But when you watched it when I was a kid in New York, you never saw a video confession before. You saw these kids, and they look like they were snarky and stuff like that. Like I was at the time. I was the same age, and but you said, oh yeah, of course they did it. Just unbelievable.
It's very unsettling times we're entering.
Yeah.
I mean, as a writer myself, they're talking about artificial. This big strike they have now with the screenwriters. It's mainly the big issue is artificial intelligence. The screenwriters, including myself, are afraid that they're going to use that to take away our jobs on that. And I've used artificial intelligence. It can be a tool on that. I still can't replace the human on that, but it's getting better and better. Every day. They're refining it, and who knows? Now, my big concern is, of course, Space Odyssey. Hell, will they become smarter than us and decide they don't need us and sort of take over the world? I mean, that's
by then we'll be long and gone, man. Both those will be forgotten.
Well, yeah, but we still got to worry about our legacy.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, and we were talking off the air about Elon Musk, and he wants to put a chip in your brain. The guy has a company to put a chip.
There's some that you put a chip in his brain for sure.
I got to find his brain.
On that. But so it's really. I guess you could say exciting times in a way.
Yeah.
But it very, very high stakes, for a lot of people.
So let me ask you this, because you said you got 42 books, man. RonChepesiuk.com, you got the TV thing going on here, you got the radio show. What are you working on next? What big project are you working on?
Well, that's interesting. I'm waiting on a contract from a lawyer that is representing this gang leader from Chicago. He was a member of the Al Rukins.
Sure.
I don't know if you know who they are. They were really big.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Chicago gang. And he's related to Jeff Fort, who's in Florence, Colorado, in seclusion, there for life on that. And he wants to tell a story. Now, he's in witness protection himself in Whitsick, and he's been there for 30 years. And he contacted me out of the blue and asked me if I would be interested. And so I talked to him on the phone. I don't know where he is because he's like in witness protection. But I said, yeah, okay, well, we'll talk to your lawyer. And so he put me in touch with his lawyer, and I think we worked out something. I'll have to see what he's offering on that. But that's another thing. I'm working on a book now with a producer in Dallas on this individual that was in oil and gas, and he turned out to be a real con man, really interesting guy. And so I'm working on a book on that, and then I've got an offer to write a script based on a book, a heist, bank heist, and I'm talking to the people about that. But I never have any problem with work.
Yeah. Now, hard to believe someone in the oil industry would be dishonest. But you mentioned the El Rukins. Okay. Yeah. You mentioned the El Rukins. In fact, that's a fascinating topic, man. Now, that's that gang that were involved with the Moors and they had pyramids and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. He says that the story about him, the Gaddafi connection.
Right.
Where they're doing they're going to do hits for him, in return for money and all that. And he says that's all BS. And that's as far as I know. We haven't really talked about it, but it's an interesting story. He said he spent time in prison with Nicky Barnes.
Yeah.
And he said he's got all kinds of stories. And
I'd love to interview him, man. That El Rukin story is fascinating. That whole period, within Chicago gangs.
Yeah. And this guy has a good memory, and it's interesting. There's a lot of good stories in there. So it sounds pretty exciting. So I'm waiting to see what the offer is going to be, and then go from there.
No, that's great. And if you have a good memory, remind me about that when the book comes out. I won't have you come back because my memory is shot these days.
Well, I'll contact you about if you want. Like we could get Jesus Ruiz and on. I did the book The Real Mr. Big on him. He was the biggest cocaine dealer in British history.
Sure.
And he was caught in 2003, went to prison in 2006, got out about 2008. We collaborated on the book, and he had 20,000 people working for him, money laundering in Colombia, and he operated in Britain. He was the biggest. When he was arrested, the price of cocaine went up 50%.
Wow.
Because he had such a stranglehold on the cocaine trade.
Yeah, I've heard those stories. Well, Ron Chepesiuk, we're out of time, though, man, but get a hold of me. I'd love to interview him.
I thought we're just getting started.
Okay, I'll let when you're ready. Okay, RonChepesiuk.com. The book we talked about today was Bad Henry, the Murderous Rampage of the Taco Bell Strangler. We talked about his TV series on VIX, on Spanish TV, is a Paraiso Blanco, about Carlos later. And also, too, we talked about his radio show, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays, Crime Beat on the artistfirst.com. Ron Chepesiuk, man, thank you so much. You got a ton of information here, 42 books. Everybody go to Amazon and just look. You can find it easily probably by looking up Bad Henry, the Murderous Rampage of the Taco Bell Strangler, and then click on Ron Chepesiuk and see all of his books. If you listen to the Opperman Report, these are the kind of books you guys will love, man. These are all the topics we cover here all the time. Perfect stuff for black gangsters of Chicago, the Traficantes. Come on, this is all our stuff, man. Sergeant Smack, this is our stuff. Thank you so much, Mr. Ron Chepesiuk.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Ed. I really enjoyed it.
Always, man. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, thank you.